Hi everyone, hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are. Now today I want to talk about, what is the difference, really, between what your brain is telling you versus what is actually happening in the real world relating to crypto. So let's just dive into it. I know we are in still very long winter market. The market tried to break above the 4,000 level for a few times already since the beginning of this year, but we still, every time it slammed above 4,000 level, it seems to come back down again, and it just stayed that very tight range for a long time. And I believe many of you, including myself, are super frustrated that why is the market not moving, especially like Bitcoin and the key top coins, right? Most of the top coins are not moving, or the market as a whole is not moving as rapidly as Binance coin, right? Despite so many positive news already that we have seen since the beginning of this year. So that is, I'm sure your brain is now telling you is that wrong decision to get into crypto in the first place? Should I be liquidating some of that, to put into other better returning assets, right? Should I buy something else, that can realize those gains sooner? I'm sure your brain is telling you that now, but what is really happening in the ground is very, very important for you to take note. And I have basically 4 points just to highlight, and this is just based on the news in the last day. Yesterday alone, just yesterday's crypto news alone is enough to convince you, right, objectively, why you shouldn't listen to your brain. Your brain is just there to protect you, but not to actually make you super rich in the long term. Your brain is the one that really looks for instant gratification, and that's why you should be really, really careful, right? Now, what are the 4 reasons that you really should look at the facts and not just listen to your brain? Now, first is the industry titans are all supporting Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Governments, you have a lot of governments now stepping up to saying things like Bitcoin and technologies is here to stay. Infrastructure, so many talent and capital are flowing into this space, right? Continue building up the infrastructure. And lastly, we're still in the super early days. As one of the example, in residents in UK, only 3% of people in UK have invested in Bitcoin. Let's look at it quickly. Now, under the industry titan pillar, we have Jack Dorsey, who is CEO of Twitter and also Cash App. His most recent tweet is that he just bought a Trezor hardware wallet with Bitcoin through Cash App, and this is his picture of the proof. Now, the thing is this, very interestingly, Jack Dorsey, right, he's just making news every other day now with his endorsement of Bitcoin, Lightning Network, and now latest Trezor, which is a cold wallet that everyone should have. If either Trezor or Ledger, that you should definitely have. These are the recommended ones, right, by the top people or serious people who are invested in crypto. These are the ones that they use. I myself have a Ledger, right? And so he has, and just yesterday alone, he has said that he constantly buy Bitcoin up to $10,000 of Bitcoin bought per week. And now his latest tweet is on promoting he just bought a hardware wallet. So very, very serious into crypto, right? So for always in the news. And don't forget, Jack Dorsey has 4 million followers, right? He himself, right, he also mentioned already that he's going to incorporate Lightning Network into his Cash App, which is a avenue very convenient to buy cryptocurrency, right? That has been very popular, the most popular, in fact, app to buy crypto in 2018. He himself, right, with such a huge following and Cash App being such a popular avenue to buy crypto, is basically just enough to push it to mainstream, right? And every day in the news, he's basically endorsing Bitcoin. And don't forget, his followers have very, very prominent influencers as well, including musicians and a lot of industry elites as well. Next, we have economic historian Niall Ferguson, right, under industry titan. He changed his mind, right, about crypto. So let me just quote. he said, I was very wrong to think that there was no use for a form of currency based on blockchain technology. Notably, as of last month though, he sits on the advisory board of algorithmic stablecoin issuer Amperforth. And he said, considering that his knowledge of the history of financial innovation and fiat currencies had predisposed him against the idea initially, he pointed to Bitcoin's recent price moves as an indication of its longevity and resilience. Quote, I don't think this will turn out to be a complete delusion, yeah? Next, Ferguson also reportedly suggested that crypto's non-correlation to traditional asset class might well make it attractive to certain investors. And that is exactly the point, right? So why I want to bring up him is because, Niall Ferguson, right, economic historian, a very notable people in UK, right, he basically had previously he belonged to the camp of anti-Bitcoin, but now, right, after studying more and more of it, and probably so much news in the world being so much government, so much big names are adopting Bitcoin, that now he is also start to evaluate it, and he openly now said that he admit he was wrong to say that there was no use for this cryptocurrency. And in fact, another statement was, he said he don't think this will turn out to be a complete delusion, yeah. And also he alluded that, right, crypto non-correlation to traditional asset class will be its main attractive feature, and that was exactly the number one reason how Morgan Craig onboarded the first pension in US to invest in crypto related companies, and eventually they will invest in crypto because they need to be warmed up first to crypto, and first by investing in equity of crypto companies as a lower risk investment. Next, right, Fidelity, who is very close to launching its trading arm and custody for crypto, they said that they have seen a significant amount of demand since its announcement that it's going to offer the custody and trading services since October last year, yeah. And he said a wide variety of firms expressing interest, everyone from dedicated crypto funds to hedge funds, family offices, intermediaries, and even individuals looking to launch their own private fund products based on crypto have reached out. FDAS is actually Fidelity Digital Asset Services, right? He said, quote, I know in terms of assets under management is anywhere from low single digit millions up to tens, if not hundreds of millions. That is the potential of business just in, Fidelity alone. And they haven't even launched it. They are still very in the final leg of their testing, right? So again, just showed you all the industry titans, right? Very big names, Twitter CEO, economic historian, very huge author and expert in the UK. Fidelity, huge name in the 7 trillion assets under management globally, just in the traditional finance world, right? Huge names that they are all saying, right, that they are seeing and they're strongly endorsing crypto. Governments as well. This is a huge news. Argentina backs blockchain projects from Binance Labs. And I just want to highlight, this is just news from yesterday. Ministry of Production and Labor of Argentina has pledged to square the investment of up to $50,000 for every blockchain project in Argentina that receives funding from Binance Labs. So how much will that match? So the government of Argentina will match investments from Binance Labs and LatamX via Founders Labs in up to 10 blockchain projects each year for a period of 4 years. Now this is huge because now you have a government openly, supporting, and not just via words, right? It's versus real money. They're using real money that have that means if you don't invest in this, they can very well invest in other very important priorities for the country, right? Like education for the country as well, or reducing poverty in their own country. But they chose to match the investments in, Binance Labs are investing into independent crypto projects, that the government is actually matching that amount. That means they will get double that amount. So this is really, really huge, right? They just really want to foster the building and innovation to continue to grow in this space, yeah? Next, Crypto Skeptic Massachusetts group, they create a fintech advisory group. Now again, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, right? They have an office that oversees the state's securities regulator. They have just formed a fintech advisory group. And what does this do? They really want to, have a collaboration to help advise securities regulators on meeting the novel demands of this rapidly growing space. It's really just want to support again the growth and the development of this space. Next, Israel publishes final recommendations on crypto regulation. Israel Securities Authority, ISA, right? They have actually already just finished its final report on crypto regulations, and it is very noted that the chairperson Anat Gupta said, technology is here to stay. This crypto technology is here to stay despite the fact that excitement in the industry has cooled. Yeah. So next, right, you also have South Korea establishes special task force to prevent cryptocurrency related crimes. Now, so as you know, right, one of the very bad connotation associated with crypto and Bitcoin, and which has prevented a lot of people from going into this space, is really because of so much scams and crimes that people just trying to steal your money if you invest in crypto. And that is a lot of fear being among the people who are not yet in. And now South Korea is very good that they are taking government is actually leading a charge to actually have a task force to make sure that they monitor and prevent crimes in this space. Yeah, so very, very good. Next, under infrastructure, eToro is finally live in US. So eToro is originated in Israel. They already have 10 million users, so huge captive audience already from more than 140 countries. And eToro is investment platform. They have a wide range of investments in the traditional asset class, like equity, bonds, and so forth. Now that they are going into crypto and they are going into US, and very interestingly, they do have some differentiation. First is of what's their offering. So first is, of course, they allow people just to trade and invest in coin. Second, automatically copying the trades of others on the platform to benefit from their knowledge and investment expertise. This is what it means is that, so now you can just look at, right, people who have more knowledge or people who are more experienced in crypto investing, you can actually copy what they do, right? You can copy when they buy in, when they sell their crypto, what are they buying, how much they're buying, can literally copy that, right? And that is very good for people who are new, who don't want to do so much research, right? But they just rather follow the experts. And third, they can invest in a crypto copy fund, which basically is a diversified portfolio of major crypto assets. So this is something like index investing, right? That you don't have to worry too much what stocks you want to, or what crypto you want to pick, but just the fund will kind of like they will invest in the top market cap coins, I believe, but give you a diversified exposure, right? So again, it's very, very convenient avenue for the people, and this is definitely have some differentiation versus the current major crypto exchange like Binance and Coinbase. And very good news is that even upon launch, that their platform will allow trading of 13 coins, right, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, Dash, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, Stellar Lumens, Neo, EOS, IOTA, Cardano, Zcash, and Binance Coin. So they also have a wallet, right? But for now, they will only support 6 currency, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, XRP, and XLM. So though more support will increase in the future. So again, really, really good, because eToro already have 10 million users that can tap into, right? And when eToro send out an email or a tweet to their captive audience, who probably many of them do not know or do not have crypto yet, they might just try, right, to get into this space just to test it out, right, because of curiosity. And also because there's so much news nowadays, right? And with the right education, they will be educated correctly that it is quite positive, then they will get into it. So that is again very good for the adoption of crypto. Next, crypto ready Opera Touch browser coming to iOS. So Opera is set to soon released its built-in cryptocurrency wallet supporting the Ethereum network on Opera Touch for Apple iOS devices. The browser, which is already available for both Android and iOS, didn't incorporate cryptocurrencies until now. But what is so interesting is that the main selling point of Touch is the increased Web3 functionality. one of the special thing is that, it allows you to do like truly private messaging, which is what an internet should be, right? Something really, really private. So what is significant about this news is that, right, as we know, Samsung S10 latest, they have incorporated their a wallet, right, for people to safely store their crypto keys. Now, right, with Opera, Apple users will straight away, can have access already to a built-in crypto wallet. Yeah, although of course it's not offered by Apple, but still it is very, very huge, right, that it can then reach out to so many Apple users, right? Yeah. Next, ex-Bitmain team from former startup to land and trade crypto. So as you know, Bitmain, the mining giant, they had to lay off a lot of staff because of liquidity issues, right? And because of the year-long winter that depresses the crypto pricing. So they had to lay off the staff. But these people, they are not giving up. They are not moving into other space, other industries. They continue to want to stay in this space, and they are forming their own startup to trade and lend crypto. Why do they do that? It's because they see the potential, they see the future of crypto is still that means they see the potential, and the fastest growing industry in the future will still be in crypto. That's why they want to stay. Kraken expanding team, and this the key is from outside crypto. So Kraken has announced 5 new appointments. So this is not replacement. These are 5 new roles being created, right? Who are they? Matt Mason as Chief Marketing Officer, Steve Hunt as Vice President of Engineering, Nelson Minia as Head of OTC Sales and Trading, Bob Zagota as Head of Business Operations and Strategy, and Mary Beth Buchanan as General Counsel. So the key is this. They are all from very, very prominent companies and outside crypto industry. So let's just look at it. Mason, who is the Chief Marketing Officer, was employed by Sony Pictures as studio head at a secretive innovation lab focusing on game mechanics. Yeah, also had experience in BitTorrent. Now Hunt, who is the Vice President of Engineering, had led multiple firms including Jump Trading and Goldman Sachs. Minia, who is the head of over-the-counter sales and trading, had experience in major financial firms like Credit Suisse, JP Morgan Chase, and Citibank. Zakota, who is the head of business operation and strategy, joined from CME Group. CME is the largest derivative exchange out there, and the legal counsel, Mary Beth Buchanan, joined from UN and US Department Justice. Now, all these huge names, right, in financial industries, in government, UN, and so on, Department of Justice, are all very, very prominent, big names and big industry. That this show that the talent is flowing out, leaking from this very, used to be very popular and like the number one earning industry, banking industry, right, to crypto. So that ought to tell you again where the talent is flowing. Normally where the talent flows, right, that's where the money will be eventually. Last, right, it is very important to hone in that we are still very, very early days. A lot of people who are, quite long time investing in crypto, and I myself consider, like, even if you are 1 year into crypto, 6 months in, you are considered already quite long, because Bitcoin is really just 10 years old. So if you're even 1 year history or 6 months, you are already kind of the old birds. And if you constantly follow the news, you will feel that you actually have been long time in the industry. But actually, the reality is that, right, it is still very early days in the world. Yeah, normally people are just very much in their own shell. But so there was a survey done by Financial Conduct Authority, which is the leading financial regulator of UK. They surveyed 2,132 respondents. So yes, very representative sample size. And these are people who live in UK. 73% of people who surveyed didn't even know what is cryptocurrency. 58% said they have never heard of cryptocurrency. 10% didn't know. 5% answered incorrectly. So no surprise that only 3% of the respondents have purchased some form of cryptocurrency. But many of these people who purchased say that they have poor understanding. Only 16% said that they had not done any research at all. 4% researched only after their purchase. And what did they buy? Bitcoin, of course. Ethereum is second, Litecoin is third. So that ought to tell you that they only buy the top coins, right? And very, very small amount only, like £200 on their purchases, which means they are just testing the water, yeah? But sadly, 50% of them have since sold their cryptocurrency in the prolonged bear market. So, and the thing is this then, as of future purchases, only 1% of no-coiners say that they will definitely buy in the future. The other thing is, what are the main reasons that they buy cryptocurrencies is that they see it as a gamble that could gain or lose money. And 18% of the respondents said that they want to make money quickly from the cryptocurrencies. This is really, really sad. UK being one of the main financial hub in the world, right? 97% of the people in UK does not even own cryptocurrency, and of those who own, they see it as only a get rich quick scheme, right? Whereas the reality is that, right, people who go into crypto know that it is a long-term play. The 2017 boom led by retail investors are just a short-term thing, but ultimately you have to wait for the big money to come, but those will take time, right? So most seasoned people who in the crypto, they all know that this is a long-term play, right? So it can be even 10 years. Hopefully, of course, it's 3 years or 5 years, but no one really know, right? But it could be as long as 10 years. So this is not a get rich quick, but definitely it is an asymmetric risk. That means you can definitely invest a small amount and you can be rewarded many times over. But you see, it is really, really sad, but that still ought to tell you again, right, the reality of the situation. So again, come back to what is the point. The point is, right, your brain must be telling you, right, that, and if you're every day in it, because if you have investments, I know you do check the price daily, or even, I don't know, 24 times in a day maybe, or every other minute, right? Depends on what extent you are. Your brain is definitely trying to protect you and say it's better off, right? We take that money and liquidate it, right, to be safe, and we put into something else that is, most people think it is safe, right? Even something that maybe Warren Buffett will endorse, right? But the truth is, if you just follow the news daily, right, and if you just watch my channel or even other channels, right, YouTube channels on crypto daily, you will realize there's so much positive news happening in the crypto world that is just not being realized by majority of people out there. And that is why we are still very, very early days, right? And I mean, the fact is staring in your face. You can Google any of this and you can find them easily in, from the Google search, and you have multiple articles on all of this, right? And this is very, very key. So your brain is really trying to protect you, right? Just like in the olden days, your brain is really trying to say, whenever there's the one sign of danger, run, right, for your life. But now we are in a modern world. We do not need to be scared of these things. Now we are much more matured. We are much more evolved, right, from those early days people. So our brain is still trying to protect us from this, which is good in a way, but take 1 second, take time to actually understand fully what is the full context before you make any rash decision. So if you have liquidated, my advice, well, sorry, not advice, but if it were me, and if you truly ask what I would do, is that now I think while the market is still trading tight range like this, still below 4,000 or sometimes just slightly above and then come back down, now is the best time to buy. Again, my own opinion, not financial advice, right? But yes, so that is definitely what I would do. I still continue to buy a bit every now and then, right? Just to make sure I continue to have, and so this, of course, every day when I read, when I research and when I share all this news, it just helps me as well to actually clarify my own thinking, and that's how I can actually quench my fears. So please, I hope you can internalize all this, and if you can, digest this, and hopefully you can share with many others this knowledge, right? That these insights, that do not be afraid. Your brain is really trying to protect you, right? And that's the difference between what your brain is trying to tell you versus the reality. So yes, I hope you enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe, right? And thank you so much for watching, and please share this around. We really need more people to be aware of the truth. Now, and for all my new subscribers, thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. Thank you.